Welcome back for the next episode of Iron Curtain Grades your shit, our shit in this case, a little bit of both actually. Today we're looking at a build that Davian has put together to fix the wedge tip wall design that failed so spectacularly in our first real episode. Davian, what are you calling this thing?
We're going to call this the ziggurat.
Okay, I'm gonna have to spell check that before I title it. Here we go. What's the basic idea here? I think I see where you're going, but explain it for the masses.
The basic idea is one of the biggest problems with the wedge tip walls was, if you remember the first video, they tended the Jenga tower up and actually get over the wall.
Oh yeah.
So I doubled the height. So this is now 8 blocks tall, I believe.
Okay.
So that should solve the Jengaing problem even with dogs.
Nice. I'm a fan of that.
And we have plenty of air cover to protect from birds and hopefully to stop cops from barfing on you from way far out.
That is
To
definitely a
block the line of
positive.
sight.
Yeah.
I wanted to do it one lower than it is right now. It does have the weight to do it, but if it goes one lower, I believe it actually messes with the zombies' pathing, and they don't think they can get up it anymore because they can't.
Okay, yeah, so you have to have a line where they feel like they should be able to get up that wedge tips, be damned. I gotcha. Okay. So yeah, and that explains the initial roof access you had carved out in here and everything. Okay, that makes sense. There's one really interesting feature to this build, I think. I'll show everybody here in a second. A lot of times when you see, and there are a dozen different variations of this thing kicking around as I've been looking and checking out some of the examples,
Yeah.
a lot of them aren't this big, so I think the size here is actually going to play to this thing's strength, because they tend to encounter issues based on the fact that they're just so small they can only take but so many hits before they cave in. But what Davian has done here that I find really intriguing is actually hollow this thing out. Now, we have painted the inside of this. You can see I'm still carrying the paintbrush. We literally just did it, because this will show damage for purposes of the video and for the purposes of just being able to repair it really nicely. You can see, bang, that takes a hit. Now, to prove that this is cobblestone, here's the repair tool. Watch what it sucks up to repair it. Cobblestone. This whole thing is made out of cobblestone. We are actually going to roll the clock back a little bit for tonight's test. We're thinking day 14, day 21. We'll talk it out as a group, but we're going to do this as a first month Horde base.
This is designed to be something solo you can get up in probably the first 14 days if you've got a group focusing on it. All that's here is wooden cobblestone. So with focused work, you should be able to get this up by day 7 with a group.
Okay, and that's a positive. We don't do a lot of early game bases, so I think this one will be nice if it pans out and everything keeps together here. We'll be in good shape and we'll have a good early game base for people to take a whack at. Now to show you here too, you can see that's painting, rubbing off. That is still cobblestone. I'll take a whack. I don't want to have anybody criticizing that. You can see the cobblestone does not show damage very well, which is why we painted the inside. But again, cobblestone to repair.
I used all these very small pillars for support because they still support the same by the math of the game, and they give you full access to repair every single part of the outside of the base.
Nice.
Except for some of the corner parts, because there's just no way to do that.
Sure. But the idea being that so we can have at least one person down here during the Horde night just doing spot repairs. If things go sideways and they start taking chunks out of this, you can have literally a man on the inside doing a little bit of repair work before everything gets started or before everything caves in on you, which definitely helps on an early game build because that survivability is key when you don't have a lot of options.
Because this base, even if it works well, it'll probably take a few dings. I'm sure Copspit will hit it at some point.
Oh, absolutely. So for supplies needed, obviously this is just an A. That you know, Davian put this together as an early game build, so the supplies were something that he kept a constant eye on, and this is cheap as all get out to build.
This is only wooden cobblestone.
Only wooden cobblestone. That first couple of weeks, these are resources that you can get no problem. They're all on the surface. You got yourself a shovel, some sort of a crappy pick, you know, stone axe, whatever. You can swing this together without an issue. This is definitely an A for supplies needed. For build difficulty, how long would you say it took you to put this thing together?
A couple of hours. I probably could have gone out farther with the base, but again, it's enough. trying to just do this top big enough for us to stand on comfortably without crowding each other too much.
I think build difficulty, this is another A. There's nothing complicated going on here. You can get a pretty good shot of, I mean, what you see is what you get. You just build a little bit of a pyramid-esque tower here, the ziggurat, like you said, and away you go. It's actually a lot less dense than a lot of the stuff I would try to build. You know, my gut reaction on something like this initially is to just make it solid and, you know, make it one concrete piece and away you go. But hollowing it out like that actually saves you quite a bit in the way of resources. So I don't think anybody should have any problems getting this together pretty early in the game in terms of what you need to do and how long it's going to take you to do it. All right, so the Horde Night recording is coming up in a little bit. Let's see how she does. Getting ready for the Horde Night. We're crowded up here on the ziggurat. There goes Nev. Dropping his weapon. Hey, your first day?
Well, it's a beginner base. I figured I'd
What, you think you're carrying around a flashlight and miscreated or something?
Hey-oh.
Heyo.
We're going to hold off firing here for a couple minutes just to see if anything goes haywire. And let them try to jang up a little bit, kind of like we did with the first wedge tip base. We'll give it the old school college try, let it see if its system is actually holding up intact. We got some dogs,
there's
we got
the
some
boomer right in front.
irradiated. What you guys doing?
and a boomer right out of the gates.
Are those dogs chewing on that thing? No, they're just crawling up. What's Chunky Boom Boom doing?
He's just jumping around.
Let's go check underneath here, see if any damage is recording. Doesn't look
Nothing
like it.
so far.
Oh,
there's
nope,
another boomer.
there's
and
some.
another boomer. 3 boomers.
Alright,
Yeah,
so we got a
real
little
fast.
bit of damage coming on the wall, but if you've got a dedicated repair monkey, you're gonna do alright. Provided we don't blow it up with a demo, because cobblestone is not gonna hold up to demos very well.
Or at all.
At all, ever.
They're starting to pile up, but I don't think they're going to get anywhere near.
They're at max spawn. We can start.
I mean, if they're at max spawn, leave them.
Yeah.
Oh, this is gonna be a really entertaining video.
So
I mean-
this one.
A few minutes later.
I mean, it's how the base is designed to go. Max spawn out at things that aren't ranged and don't blow up.
Okay, I'm starting to hear them smack things.
How much damage are they doing down there?
They're nicking here and there. I'm staying on top of it.
Oh,
Oh.
Fatty Boom Boom just chunked one out. So it is not completely AFK. They will, the demos in particular, will punch through shit.
Yeah, the demo punched through in one shot
Yeah, that's uncomfortable.
because they're assholes and it's a stupid mechanic.
You may notice we've downgraded our weaponry a little bit for this one. In the spirit of it being an early game base, we figured we wouldn't bring out a wall of M60s.
Plus, I don't know how this will stand up to the wall.
That too, we'd probably take it down ourselves.
I feel like there's some shade being thrown here very subtly, and I do not appreciate it.
Of course not. What are you talking about?
You're just lucky that Chunky Boom Boom is already taken by the demos, because we may have had to spring for a little gamer tag change there or something for you.
You couldn't pay
Oh,
me enough.
shit.
Oh,
Fuck, kill it. That's bad. That may have,
Okay.
that may have been my fault.
Okay, that's the entire wall gone.
Okay, so I like it in theory, but hey, that's what one guy goes and everything goes to hell. And you can't AFK it because if that stuff was just punching through the wall, eventually he would knock it down himself.
Yep.
Well,
which is why, in the interest of personal safety, I've acquired an M60.
Oh, someone.
he was outside though. He's taking out your patio here, but nothing serious.
So it looks like Davian might get the medal.
Oh, Jesus.
What I think we're learning here is that this concept is inherently flawed. Yes,
Well,
you could probably sit and like take single pick shots all night with 2 people. It's
Oh, we got zombies up here.
up
Yeah,
where?
they're climbing the ladder. They're climbing the ladder.
Oh shit!
You get down inside, get some
Why don't you just somebody knock that ladder out? We can walk up the walls. Bye, ladder. Hey, fuck
Ow.
you too, buddy.
The ladder's still there.
I'm working on it.
It was built to last. I'm sorry.
It's an iron block now.
Judging by this 30-foot hole in the wall, it was not. I do find it funny that none of you plan to hit.
Well, I brought a crossbow, which maybe I should use.
Yeah, I brought a shotgun. I still brought the M6.
Oh, I brought a whole load of ammo.
Well, yeah, but it's kind of piggybacking off of what we were saying before Horde Night, before we started recording. An M60 is like your waifu body pillow, hells. Like, you're not going to go anywhere without it. I'm not surprised.
I've actually gone without the M60 for the last 3 videos.
I might have to check the footage on that one.
Like 2 or 3.
This is just going to keep boiling down. He didn't have it out for 30 seconds in the last video. Well, it was a noble attempt, Davian.
Yeah, I think
A for
This is less-
effort.
less about the wedge tip sucking and more about the demo men just being a terrible mechanic, especially not to like gate them.
Yeah, they definitely should be gated somewhere.
Yeah, it's a base building game with an enemy specifically designed to destroy all bases.
I don't think that's inherently unfair. But it does kind of shut down a lot of these early plans, no lie.
Oh god. Oh god, that's a demo on my face.
I mean, killing X only gets him like a medal made out of a yogurt lid.
That right there is participation.
One of those chocolate coins.
You get a Cadbury egg for killing eggs. Here you go, good try. There's a fistful of jelly beans.
It's a participation trophy.
Yeah.
Everyone was there. Dave, I would like to nominate you for runner-up. You got me down to half health. I cannot fucking talk tonight. Half health.
How is that different from any other night?
Shut up, furry.
Damn.
See, look at you got him to half health, and now he's all discombobulated. He doesn't know what to do. He's just pointlessly mad. Pretty soon he's gonna be dressed like that
Again,
irradiated.
how is that
That's different from normal.
He's just gonna be dressed like that irradiated cowboy down there, punching at the wall out of sheer rage.
Give me some credit. I know I don't look good in the cowboy hat.
Don't sell yourself short there, Big Daddy.
God, don't ever say that again.
They call me that at work.
Do they really?
Okay.
What titty bar do you work at?
Now.
Is it a titty bar? Or is it another kind of bar?
Wait, no, I'm not gonna. I don't want to know. Never mind. This fucking demo is just doing donuts down here. What the hell?
Oh,
He's
boy.
mad. Okay, got him.
Got him. On the plus side, they are not able to climb the walls.
Yeah, I think we already knew that, but okay.
So, Davian, serious question. How
Yeah.
much of this underneath support has to go away before the ziggurat comes crashing down on us?
Oh, fuck.
Because look at the base. Look at the bottom floor. Get some footage down here.
Oh, Lord. He coming. Okay. Oh, God. Oh, mistakes were made. I don't like any of this. Like, at all. Trying to hide wasn't really getting it done there either. Jesus.
Thankfully,
I've
a
made
lot of
hollow stuff before. It comes crashing down in spectacular fashion.
you'd be surprised how much these little side pieces hold up.
Oh, really? I'm just waiting for this to fall the cave. This one thick piece. We'll see where we go.
Alright, I'm trying to shore us up. Save me, Tom Cruise. Nope.
Yep, I was too.
I didn't bring enough bullets for this.
I don't like any of this. I'm going back upstairs.
Toilet's not
This sucks.
far away.
This sucks. Ugh. No, the toilet is the retreat point. That's for goddamn sure.
Oh, jeez. Help! Help!
Oh dear. That's unfortunate.
I'm less confident about standing up here. Davian,
Yeah.
I'm using an SMG and a crossbow, and I think you're still gonna fail on ammo.
Yeah.
Was a noble effort, sir.
It was. I liked the idea.
Yeah.
Yeah, the idea was nice, but
I think Hells is onto something. It would work with smaller groups, maybe, and less volume.
Oh
Did I
God.
just hear another one blow up?
You did.
Yes, and it took out the entire wall.
so the southwest corner is
Gone?
Yeah.
Gone.
I do kind of want to try this, just upgrade everything to cement and see if that works, because then it will at least survive one explosion and it'll still be all repairable.
Shit. 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 I set that one off. That's on me. That one wasn't. I like that you're repairing the roof.
Yep.
That's the issue right now, is the roof's durability.
Davian is like sticking the finger in the pinhole of a sinking shipwreck.
I mean, it's what I can reach to fix.
It's gonna collapse, but before it does, goddammit, this roof is gonna be pristine. What are you looking down here?
Not pretty.
Really bad.
just don't look.
This makes me sad in pants. I think my only complaint with the idea of going through and rebuilding this out of steel and concrete to toughen it up
Yeah.
is that you're relying on, not you specifically, but the design is relying on the durability of the materials to work. And I'm not entirely sold that that's the best design philosophy.
I mean, it's relying on the durability of the materials to make up for a bullshit mechanic in the game. I mean, if demos didn't exist, this would be perfectly serviceable.
Sure.
Yeah.
Which is probably why they exist.
Well, Davian, you might actually get a medal.
Oh, shit.
Shit! Look at that, he's almost dead.
Somebody's got to clear out the bottom of this.
That's valid. I think if no one's clearing out the bottom, this thing would have come down already.
Fair. Oh,
If
shit.
that doesn't bring it down. Jump.
Bye, Felicia.
Jump.
I'm out.
It's an elevator. I'm jumping before it hits bottom.
Cobblestone is incredibly structurally sound, apparently.
Except for when it isn't.
Well, it's structurally sound until you send a suicide bomber after it.
Somebody's getting a little salty about the demo, guys.
Cobblestone, surprisingly strong under compression, not so much shearing.
That's
Oh, there
fair.
it goes, kids.
There she
It's
goes.
coming.
Oh, shit. Okay, time to
And
go.
And we have a dead X.
Oh, that completely came down. Oh, fuck. To the toilet! Save us, toilet!
Da-da-da.
This is the weirdest game ever. The toilet that we did in no way repair at all.
You're on your own, losers.
Oh, you bitch. Final grade abomination. I'm changing that to savior. Did they stop chasing you guys? They are really pissed off at this house. This house is in their way, and they're very mad about it. Oh, fuck, that is... The whole fraternity just crawled out of that place.
There's no spikes down there to kill them.
Not really.
You're shooting them.
Is it dawned on anyone else that the fact that both wedge tip bases we had to run to one of our insane bases to survive?
Yep. I am well aware of that fact, and we are going to talk about that at length.
Why do you think I built it so close to the toilet?
Secretly, he knew this was going to happen. Roto Rooter. That's his name. Kill your troubles with the rocket launcher.
Wow! How many... You've been sitting on that one since we recorded the toilet episode, haven't you?
No,
you were
that
just
just came from
praying we
Jason.
would come back here. Open. Give it a flush.
Flush.
Flush. Bye. A lot of green down there.
Yes, it is.
Can't wait to do the ammo assessment.
Oh, God.
I have 40 rounds left in my...
Yeah, it's not great. I opened quite a few boxes.
I mean, that's because it was immediately blown up.
You know.
I think, yeah, our first night, the first video or whatever, it was demos right out the gate.
Yeah, we
That's
did
true.
against that wedge tip wall, coincidentally. Yeah, normally I do a little pan around, scan, and assess a damage. You know, when we did the other wedge tip wall, at one point Hells remarked London in the 40s, and I think we're back to that.
Let's just take a nice look right here. This is probably the most intact part of the base. This little wall right here. You can pan around this all you want.
Pan around, okay.
It's
Yeah,
beautiful.
That little wall, or maybe this one over here, is going to hold the grade.
We'll start with the grading here in the usual order, and I feel like I'm kicking you when you're down, Dave. So nothing personal. Durability. Yeah,
It's a hole in the ground.
I think we know what the durability grade is here. That's an F. Sorry, buddy.
I mean, as it turns out, when you basically just make a hollow pile of rocks, it doesn't hold up the best.
They don't do too well.
No. So next on the list is the two safety categories, which I also don't really want to talk about. Are the Zeds controlled?
Now, realistically on that,
Dead X.
until it blew up, they did a pretty good job of doing what they were supposed to do.
For the most
I'm
part.
going to give that a D.
No, we're giving you a dead X because motherfucker, you died.
Yeah,
That's
but that
nothing
still starts with a
special.
D.
I have a hard time not feeling
It's
this, to be
nothing
honest.
special.
This is it, and no, it isn't. That's not a unique category. If we failed based on dead X's, every base would be a fail.
Hey, I've only died twice, motherfucker.
Three, four.
Both on the
This-
red tip wall.
No, I can't see my
Yeah.
way to agreeing that this passed on our Zeds controlled. We had to run to the toilet.
Yeah.
You know, the idea exactly. We had to
That
run
the
to the
hot meat
toilet.
shits?
It just works. That work. It is the hot. Yeah, it's the hot meat shits. It works on so many levels. I'm so happy that the toilet was the closest thing. But it works momentarily. You can see where it's going, but it's another one like several of the other bases where the second that one sort of concept, and I've said this before, when you have a base designed around one concept, if that one concept fails, you're
Yep.
SOL. And that's what happened here, unfortunately, is the one concept, once they punched a hole in it, that's all she wrote. The whole thing was just a matter of time. That's unfortunate. I had higher hopes for this thing, but yeah, I think this has got to be an F on Are the Zeds Controlled. I really do. Are the players in danger?
That gets the dead X.
Yeah, that's dead X. That's
Dead X.
obviously.
Dead X,
This-
almost dead Hells.
This base nearly took me out. Went down to 32 health out of 200.
You almost got the
So-
medal, Dave. Consolation prize
David
there.
almost got the medal.
Ammo though? Yeah, oof. I opened a
That's
lot of
ammo.
boxes, so I'm gonna ballpark it with the arrows and the 9mm combined at about 3,700. X, would you use?
Somewhere in the neighborhood of 4,500-ish.
Okay,
Plus just an ass ton of rockets once things got really bad.
sure. Nev, would you end up burning through?
About 6,000 rounds.
About 6,000. Oh Christ. Dave.
I actually didn't bring an automatic weapon with me, so I was only around like 1,000 to 1,200 between 9mm and arrows.
Yeah, that makes sense. Murder Machine. Hells, would you end up burning through on this?
I ended the night with 40 rounds of 7.62. I burned almost 7,500 rounds.
Oof. 67,000.
All of my contact grenades.
Oof. Yeah, I think that's when something goes sideways this hard, you're gonna have no choice but to burn a shitload of ammo, and that's exactly what we saw. Ammo's got to be another fail, which is too bad. Cheese? It's Swiss cheese. It's the wedge
Yeah.
tips. It's Swiss cheese. You know, we knew that going in. That's not a surprise. That's working with the system. Everybody and their brother is using the wedge tips. I don't think it's inherently a negative thing. I'm not personally 100% behind it all the time, but I'm not adverse to using them, as the toilet demonstrates. But it is cheese. It's cheese in the AI, so there's no choice there. It's Swiss cheese. This gets the same grade as the first wedge tip wall. And chance of being patched out, same as before. It's crazy high, as those wedge tips are pretty much guaranteed to eat shit at some point. So this concept, this whole wedge tip thing is going to go bye-bye. So don't get too in love with it, because I'll be real surprised if it survives into Alpha 19. Davian, any final thoughts on your valiant effort here?
Not really, just demonstrates that even with something that looks secure, if you're gonna build a base, it just needs to be out of something bigger than cobblestone or heavy
Yeah,
duty than cobblestone.
cobblestone's a problem. The wedge tips are, like I said, the single fault problem. And those two
Yeah.
combined just didn't do you any favors here, that's for sure. That's unfortunate. Anybody else?
Uh,
Parting shots?
Yeah, I feel like if you're going to build a base for the long term, beginner base, you have to figure out how to incorporate traps in some.
That's fair.
Traps are the game changer, and they're completely underutilized.
Yeah, and it doesn't even have to necessarily be blade traps or dart traps. Just setting spikes up on stuff.
Spikes.
Do something where the base is going to have some level of offensive capacity that just swarming up against it is going to inflict some level of damage onto the Zeds. That will go a mile, not only in defending your thing and lessening the damage they do to your expensive components, but also in reducing the amount of ammo you have to use to defend it. And I would rather burn a lot of wood on wood spikes than a lot of brass on ammo.
Last thing I have to say about this.
Yes?
That is appreciated.
Wow. Okay, yeah, okay, hats off. A moment of silence. It's still going, too. He's just going to keep playing it.
Well, yeah, you got to play the whole thing.
1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. We'll call this the 3-gun salute. You only get 6 shots.
That's fine.
We didn't know it that long. Nobody's that invested.
See, I feel that would have been better when Hells had died.
Yeah, if Hells dies, we're going to have to do the 4-gun salute minimum. Over his
Yeah,
corpse.
I expect my 21 guns, thank you.
You aren't worth 21 guns.
Motherfucker, you built a fucking furry dungeon. I am worth 21 guns.
So, coming up, we've got the mountain base, which I think is going to be an interesting one to see how that goes, because as I'm lecturing here about having bases that defend themselves, that thing does jack shit fuck all. So that'll be fun to watch. And then we've got a couple other surprises in store, including one that X is working on that he is, what were you calling that thing, the grinder? So
Oh, the grinder.
that should be interesting to watch. Stick around for those. We'll get those dropped out in the next few weeks. As always, we appreciate you watching, and we will catch you next time.